Hey, we're in reading 16 and we are wondering, what did Fudge do to Peter's poster? Oh my gosh, here we go. What did you do? I yelled. What did you do to our poster? It was covered with scribbles in every color magic marker. It was ruined. It was a mess and it was ruined. I was ready to kill Fudge. I grabbed my poster and I ran into the kitchen to show it to my mother. I could hardly speak. Look, I said, feeling a lump in my throat. Just look what he did to my poster. I felt tears come to my eyes, but I didn't care. How could you let him? I asked my mother. How? Don't you care about me? I threw the poster down and ran into my room. I slammed the door, took off my shoe, flung it against the wall. It made a black mark where it hit. Well, so what? Soon I heard my mother hollering and then Fudge crying. After a while, my mother knocked on my bedroom door and called, Peter, may I come in? I didn't answer. She opened the door and walked into my room. She sat next to me. I am very sorry, she said. I still didn't say anything. Peter, she began. She touched my arm. Peter, please listen. Don't you see, Mom, I can't even do homework without him messing it up. It just isn't fair. I wish he was never born. Never. I hate him. You don't hate him, my mother said. You just think you do. Don't tell me, I said. I mean it. I really can't stand that kid. You're angry, I said. My mother told me. I know that, and I don't blame you. Fudge had no right to touch your poster. I spanked him. You did? I asked. Fudge never gets spanked. My parents don't believe in spanking. You really spanked him? I asked again. Yes, my mother said. Hard? I asked. On his backside, she told me. I thought that over. Peter, my mother put her arm around me. I'll buy you a new poster board tomorrow. It was really my fault. I should never have let him go into your room. That's why I need a lock on my door, I said. I don't like locks on doors. We're family. We don't have to lock each other out. If I had a lock, Fudge would never have gotten my poster. It won't happen again, my mother promised. I wanted to believe her, but I really didn't. Unless she tied him up, I knew my brother would get in my room again. The next day, while I was at school, my mother bought a new yellow poster board. The hardest part was explaining to Jimmy that we had to start all over again. He was a good sport about it. He said, this time we'll make sure the truck didn't look like it was a flying train. And I said, this time I'll make a pencil marks first so my letters don't go uphill. Our committee met that afternoon. Sheila didn't mention the last time. Neither did we. Me and Jimmy worked on the poster while Sheila copied our written work into a booklet, and we'd be ready to give our oral report to the class on Monday. Not like some committees who haven't even started yet. By 5 o'clock, we had finished our poster, and Sheila was almost done with the cover for our booklet. Jimmy walked over and stood behind her, watching her work. After a minute, he yelled, What do you think you're doing, Sheila? I got up from the floor and joined them at my desk. I took a look at the cover. It was pretty nice. It said, Transportation in the City, and under it said, by Sheila Tubman, Peter Hatcher, and James Fargo. This is funny. And under that in small letters it said, handwritten by Miss Sheila Tubman. Now I knew why Jimmy was mad. Oh no, I said, holding my hand to my head. How could you? Sheila didn't say anything. It's not fair, I told her. We didn't put our names on the poster. But the cover's all done, Sheila said. Can't you see that? I'll never get the letter so straight again. It looks perfect. Oh no, Jimmy shouted. We're not handing the booklet in like that. I'll rip it up before I'll let you. He grabbed the booklet and threatened to tear it in half. Sheila screamed. You wouldn't. I'll kill you. Give it back to me, Jimmy Fargo. She was ready to cry. I knew Jimmy wouldn't tear it up, but I didn't say so. Peter, make him give it back. Will you take off that line about your handwriting? I asked. I can't. It'll ruin the booklet. Then I think he should rip it up, I said. Sheila stamped her foot. Oh, I hate you both. You don't really, I told her. You just think you do. He got that from his mom the other day. I know I do, Sheila cried. That's because you're angry now, I said. I couldn't help smiling. Sheila jumped up and tried to get the booklet, but Jimmy held it over his head. And he's much taller than Sheila. She had no chance at all. Finally, she sat down and whispered, I give up. You win. I'll take my name off. You promise? Jimmy asked. I promise, Sheila said. Jimmy set the booklet down on my desk in front of Sheila. Okay, he said. Start. I'm not going to make a whole new cover, Sheila said. What I'll do is turn this bottom line into a decoration. She picked up a magic marker and made little flowers out of the words. Soon, handwritten by Miss Sheila Tubman, turned into 16 small flowers. There, Sheila said, it's done. Looks pretty good, I told her. It would have looked better without those flowers, Jimmy said, but at least it's fair now. That night, I showed my mother and father our new poster. They thought it was great, especially our silver sparkle airplane. Mother put the poster on top of the refrigerator so it would be safe until the next day when I could take it to school. Nothing I had to worry about. Sheila had the booklet, the poster was safe, and our committee was finished before schedule. I went into my room to relax. Fudge was sitting on my floor, near my bed. My shoebox of supplies was in front of him. His face was a mess of magic marker colors, and he was using my extra sharp scissors to snip away at his hair. And the hair he snipped was dropping into Dribble's bowl, which he had in front of him on the floor. See, he said, see, Fudge, the barber. That night, I found out hair doesn't hurt my turtle. I picked out every strand from his shell, I cleaned out his bowl and washed off his rocks, and he seemed happy. Two things happened the next day. One was my father had to take Fudge to the real barber to do something about his hair. He had plenty left in the back, but just about nothing in the front and on top. The barber said there wasn't much he could do until his hair grew back. Between his fangs and his hair, he was getting funnier looking every day. The second my father got home with a chain latch, was my father came home with a chain latch for my bedroom door. I could reach it when I stand on tiptoe, but that brother of mine can't reach it at all, no matter what. Our committee was the first to give its report. Mrs. Haber said we did a super job. She liked our poster a lot. She thought the silver sparkle airplane was the best. The only thing she asked us was, how come we included a picture of a flying train? How funny. And that is the end of chapter 7. And so right now, just record your summary on the Google Doc and also your questions, predictions, and feelings and thoughts, because that's just what good readers do, is that they think when they read. Awesome. We will see you the next time.